back here. I will be back here, and I will be back with another vengeance.
Yeah, we'll lick our wounds. We'll get over this. We'll be fired up for next year.
Garoppolo has time, stands in, going deep, going for it all, and it's caught for the touchdown! On fourth down, Deebo Samuel for 6. Garoppolo's got all day. He's going to launch it deep down the field, going for it all, and getting it! Emmanuel Sanders, not touched, still on his feet, inside the 10, and he scores! 75-yard bomb from Jimmy Garoppolo to Emmanuel Sanders. Wilson, pressure off the edge, releases it, and it is intercepted by Greenlaw. Trey Greenlaw now on the return. As he's still on his feet with blockers in front, Trey Greenlaw down the sideline. Can you believe this?
Looks like football, baby.
Pass is caught. Kittle breaks one tackle. Another. Wow, what a touchdown for George Kittle. Goff throws and it's intercepted. It's picked off by Warner. Fred Warner for the touchdown. Jeff Wilson has come in at running back. Garoppolo's throw is caught by Jeff Wilson. He's going to score a touchdown for the 49ers.
And the pass is going to be picked off by Bosa. Nick Bosa. Can't bring him down till he gets to the 8-yard line. Wow.
Now Evans in the slot. Winston picked off. It is Richard Sherman, who did not have an interception last year, and he returns it all the way for a 49ers touchdown, 32-yard.
Garoppolo fires. It is caught. Still on his feet is Kittle with a big play. And the stiff arm. George Kittle. Flags fly. He's down to the 30. What a run by George Kittle. Taking on everybody.
Feels great, baby.
Of course I'm ready, you motherfuckers. Here we are. Big fucking shit went down. Here we are. This is the Gold Blooded Podcast. I am Joey I. You know what the fuck we do here. Yeah, Niners. Bob, are you totally as engulfed in the Urban Meyer debacle as I am?
No, I could care less.
Yeah, I just think it's such a train wreck that I can't look away. I currently can't. I love it. It's
everything he's always done.
I guess I've just never paid attention.
Yeah, nobody cared because it was college kids.
Right, yeah.
Now he has to deal with adults, and they're like, what are you doing, you fucking moron?
Everyone is calling him out. Like the
It's
coaches,
great.
the
Great.
assistant coaches. It's a fucking... And then he did... I read something before that just really tickled my pickle. What a fucking cuck. All right. How you doing today?
Good.
Welcome. Well, we are the Gold Blooded Podcast. We're, I don't know. I guess we're content as we sit. Very interesting football game we got to watch this week against the Cincinnati Bengals. The team was in Cincinnati. I stand by Cincinnati being just a city of uselessness. I don't know why it exists. I wonder, do you know any idea how many people live in Cincinnati?
Sure don't.
No, I have no idea. Yeah, I don't know. The Bengals, they were a formidable opponent. The refs fucked this one up again, yeah?
Oh, as always.
As always. What do we got? How many people up in this bitch? Is that 300,000?
Yeah, 300,000.
Wow, that sucks. Cincinnati, you suck. And they have a football team? That's fucking crazy. I mean, at that rate, fucking Middlebury should have one. Move the Niners here, huh? Gold, I don't know. Middlebury consensus. 5,000? 7,700.
That's close.
Don't sell yourself short.
That's close.
All right. Well, Bob, you're going to do your thing first. If you're new here, I'm sure you're not that interested. But we start each week with the worst news possible, typically the injury news. So we get the business right out of the way first.
Yeah, no, nothing really surprising this week. Actually, the only surprises were good surprises. So
Right.
Before the game, we signed safety Jared Wilson to the practice squad. We released offensive lineman Corbin Kafusi from the practice squad. Emmanuel Mosley was officially placed on IR. That wasn't a surprise to us. We knew that was coming. Trent Cannon did not play again. He was put on IR with his concussion protocol, whatever the hell happened to him.
When he died?
Elijah Mitchell was in concussion protocol and did not clear to play.
Nope.
We found out late in the week last week. It was around Wednesday or Thursday we started hearing rumblings about a personal issue with Dante Johnson. It has since come out, probably because there was a lot of rumors and speculation about it being something that he shouldn't miss time for. But it ended up being that his mother passed away. So terrible timing. Poor guy finally gets to start, and then he loses his mother the same week. It's pretty brutal.
Yeah, I guess she had a heart attack on Friday, and obviously.
But he was out, I thought, earlier than that, so maybe she wasn't doing it. I don't know. Maybe it was Friday the first I heard of it. Dre Greenlaw is still dealing with that groin and did not play, which is kind of weird because he did not go on IR. It's been a few weeks. He didn't go. I guess maybe he can't go back on a second time. I don't know. Before the game, we promoted wide receiver River Craycraft and cornerback Savon Smith to the active roster from the practice squad. We also activated running back Brian Hill and safety Jared Wilson from the practice squad. Those were standard elevations. That means they go back to the practice squad as soon as the game is over. And Deebo Samuel, with his groin, did end up playing. So that was a nice bit of surprise for us as the week went on.
That was. Seemed like they were maybe using him a little bit as a decoy at times. Maybe not, especially towards the end.
I don't think so. I think he was a full go, or he wouldn't have gotten handoffs. I think if you're not full go, you don't get handoffs in the backfield.
But it was on that. I want to say it was the last drive in overtime. They were like keeping him like screened out all the way at the top of the screen, and he stayed there and the Bengals had to keep a guy on him.
Yeah, so, I think that was just to get George open a little more.
I agree, yeah.
Because they were triple and quadruple covering George, which didn't help anyway.
No. Stop that animal.
The two scary parts of the game, Azeez Al-Shaair went out of the game with an elbow and did not return.
I thought it was worse than it appears to be.
Absolutely. So it turned out that there was no structural damage. He's day-to-day. We'll probably see him this week. Fred Warner also went out with a low ankle sprain. He returned to the game. He actually didn't miss any time. He was on a third down, so he had time to recover. And then I think it was right going into halftime, so he came out of halftime sprinting. He looked fine. He's good to go. Ambry Thomas did end up in concussion protocol, so I don't know what's going to happen with him this week. We got some news on D Ford. He was set to be... He's in the practice window coming back from IR, which means he has to be on the active roster by this Wednesday, or he cannot be put on the active roster at all. Not looking good. So
doesn't look like we're going to see him this year.
I would guess probably never again. But
yeah, right. Because what do they just cut him?
I mean, they already redid his contract, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
For that exact reason.
Later, he was a fucking bust.
I don't know if you cannot put him on the active roster, then put him back on IR, because we could just put him on for a couple days and put him back. So there must be something there.
Yeah, oh yeah.
And then we also waived cornerback Savon Smith.
Okay. Before we go down that road,
sure.
We got a listener from an email from a listener who asked us how to find episodes, some of the older episodes, and I just wanted to address this now before we get too far into the business, if that's okay with you, Rob?
Yep, let her rip.
So what I did, Mr. Easton, was I went right to the source. I asked the man and the myth, the fucking lifeblood of this fucking shithole, Matt Matterson. Here's what he said. Good question. Before episode 145 and past that, I would look up on he would look up Gold Blooded Podcast on Google and then look for the link to Lisbon, Lisbsyn. That's
Libsyn.
Libsyn. I guess
Libsyn.
I guess if you went to Libsyn and probably just search the Gold Blooded Podcast, they would have all of them. Also, Spotify app. So if you get the free Spotify app, I believe you could find them all on there. Possibly on YouTube. But if you search Gold Blooded Podcast and then the number just on Google, you should be able to find some operating link to it as well.
Oh, yeah, I didn't even think of that.
Yeah. So
I checked Spotify and they're all there, so.
Yep, there you go. Spotify. Get in there. All right, so the prediction game. The 49ers won the game in overtime, dramatic overtime fashion. 26-23. Bob wins it. First win for Bob this year. He was only off by 3 points. He was close. 27-21, he guessed. The final being 26-23. So, that's
My
exciting.
comeback starts now.
Congratulations, Bob. Does that make you feel good?
Feels great.
Feels great, right?
Feels great, baby.
It does. It feels good. So, speaking of feels great, baby, Jimmy G, fastest 49er quarterback to reach 10,000 yards. It's got to speak to the NFL. When you look at the most yards for NFL quarterbacks, it's like all new guys. You know, Joe Montana's 19th on the list. You know what I mean? So it's definitely a new stat. You know, or the game has changed, to say the least.
Yeah.
That's why it's safe to say Jimmy Garoppolo beat out the likes of Montana, Young, Garcia, you know, all those cunts. Kaepernick, Alex Smith. All right. Niners win the game?
Sure did.
Sure did. Crazy fucking game, huh?
Sure was.
Sure was. I don't know. Say what you will about this game. I think it was a great game to win, especially on the way to a hopeful playoff run. It was crazy. The fumbles in the first half, and the one thing that I want to note is that the Bengals were trying to force fumbles. They were punching at balls. They were an aggressive defense team. Throughout the game, even though they were out of it for most of the game, it wasn't lack of effort. They were trying. It was just, shit luck on some of those fumbles for them. Wild fucking game though.
Yeah.
Stressful
one.
as fuck.
Felt like playoff football.
It did feel like playoff
I'll tell you
football.
what, Burrow's going to be a good fucking quarterback if he keeps
question.
going.
Yeah.
Under pressure, he was great.
Yeah, he was. And they got great wide receivers.
Yep.
I don't hate the Bengals. Like, they're just such a blah team. You know what I mean? Like, so,
Agree.
whatever. It's kind of, I was surprised they came back like they did. It was...
Yeah, they might win their division.
That loss really hurt them, but so did the Ravens loss. So, I don't know.
It's too hard. It's too hard to know where anything is this season because every team is so up and down, and it's not just the Niners. It's every fucking team. Like, Seattle's terrible for a bunch of weeks. Then they play their best game against us, and then Minnesota gives us a crazy fight in our game, and then they get smashed the next week, and then
Rams lose 3 in a row. Then Rams, they beat the Cardinals.
Well, and they blast the Cardinals.
Yeah.
After we blasted them.
Right.
It's like I don't know what to make of any of it.
Yeah.
But I do know is that this team can beat any team in this league, in this division, in this conference on any given day. Unfortunately, I feel like they could also lose to any team in this league on any given day. So it depends on who shows up and how we show up. Because if we keep showing up the way we show up, we can win the Super Bowl. We could go on a run and win the Super Bowl, no problem. But if we show up like we did in some of these games this year, we have no shot at even getting into the playoffs. So I don't know what to make of it anymore. I know for a fact that we could win this Super Bowl. I know that. I'm 100% confident in that.
It's not crazy to think they could get hot. I guess the thing that's hard for me is that we haven't seen them go on like that consistent of a streak that it would take. We
only saw 3 games.
Right,
But what this game showed is that we have all the parts. They just have to do it at the same time.
Right. Oh, yeah, for sure.
Because Nick Bosa was a complete fucking disaster to play against. Like, any team that had to play against him on Sunday would have wanted to go home and cry.
Oh, yeah.
He was a menace. He wrecked their entire game plan. He was involved in every play. He's already broke his brother's sack record. He's got the most sacks in a season by a Bosa.
Oh, nice.
He's very quickly going to pass Aldon Smith and take the 49ers record, in my opinion.
What is that record?
19 and a half, I think.
Yeah.
Don't be surprised if he has one breakout game and gets close to breaking the record for the NFL.
I agree.
The guy's on a fucking tear, and he's had probably 3 or 4 this season taken away because of penalties.
Oh, for sure. He had one this game.
At least one this game.
Those 2 penalties were terrible.
Yeah,
the 2 Aubrey Thomas penalties, or is that his name?
Ambry Thomas.
They were terrible.
Terrible how?
Ticky-tack.
No.
One of them more so than others.
No, he jammed the guy in the throat with his hand. You can't do that. That's illegal.
One of them was not as hard as the other.
It doesn't matter. Once you go to the face mask, once your hand goes up there.
Okay.
And that's a rookie learning technique.
Yeah,
he got up a little too high. He meant to hit him in the chest. His hand slid up.
I felt that one of them it like slipped and it wasn't a big deal. One of them was aggressive, but one of them it like slipped and it was like tacky. I thought that was the first one, but I could be wrong. Two things, because there's a lot to suck. There's a lot of dick to suck here. So I want to keep that fresh. But there is two complaints I have. Not necessarily with this game, but I guess just with the overall whatever. First thing. We kicked off to them to start the game. Do you know who made the tackle on that ensuing kickoff?
When we kicked off?
Yes.
No.
Mitch Wisnowski. That's a problem. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Like, especially if that's how they started the game. And we said it last week, the special teams had to be addressed. And it was better, for sure. But when Mitch Wisnowski's making tackles, that's a problem, you know? And I know he's aggressive and he gets down there more than he should, but that's a problem. 2, 5 sacks. They gave up 5 sacks. I felt like Jimmy probably could have threw a couple of those away,
Yeah.
But he didn't fumble them, so that's fine. But not great. Those are my 2 major complaints from the game. You have any?
No.
No.
I mean, it wasn't a flawless game. That's for sure.
No. It was sloppy at times.
Yeah. I'm sorry. They kicked off to us to start the game. You're talking about the punt. Mitch punted.
Right. Then he made that tackle. Yeah.
Interesting.
They kicked off to us. Yes.
No, he ran out of bounds.
Yeah.
They kicked off to us, and then we punted, and he ran out of bounds.
Oh, well, I don't know.
Maybe Mitch pushed him out. I don't know.
I don't know.
And
Maybe after the field goal. I thought it was. I wrote it after the first. I wrote that after I swore it was early, but I don't know.
That was a muff.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I swore Mitch made a tackle.
And what else do we have here? I just thought. I don't know where it would show. I assume it would show on defensive stats.
Maybe a tackle, right? Does he have a tackle?
No.
Maybe I'm in.
Jeff Wilson had one, so it is showing special teams.
Yeah, maybe he was just involved.
There was no.
Unless he was just involved in it, maybe he was involved.
Or maybe he pushed him out of bounds.
Yeah, I think on that he was like there.
He's there, and he's always there.
Yeah.
But after the special teams games we've had recently, I'm not going to bitch about our special teams.
No,
with the muffs and being right there, ready to recover.
Oh
them.
yeah,
those are huge.
Yeah,
and both times he muffed, we had guys surrounding him, ready to grab that ball. That's huge.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. There was no hesitation.
Like that Sherfield.
Yeah.
He recovered one, and they were right there waiting for it.
That's I read
huge.
A little ditty about the Rams game last night that apparently at one point Matt Stafford fumbled the ball, and no one knew it. Like, people were looking at it, and they assumed it was a dead ball. And, like, the refs were just kind of looking at it, and then he finally dove on it, and then the refs blew the whistle. But it was like, in hindsight, everybody's like,
what
fuck,
joke.
First half was fucking sloppy. They fumbled like 3 times or something crazy. 10 points off their turnovers, which was, you got to thank that. You wish it would have been more, but you take what you can get. So Niners had a comfortable lead throughout the third. George Kittle was just kind of doing his thing, cruising along. And then they came back. It was a kind of a fast and a furious little kind of comeback, right?
Yep.
Excuse me, gassy. And then the Niners had 2 minutes about to do the damn thing in regulation, or maybe less. I think it was maybe even less. They get down to field goal range with perfect time, and they give Bobby G a chance to win it. First of all, Kittle making an absolute Hall of Fame catch. A catch that could be fucking talked about for ages had Bobby G hit the fucking field goal.
And by then George was already fucked up. He could barely get up off the ground.
Right. What was going on with him?
He said that, first of all, they all hate that stadium because it's all turf.
Oh, and they said
the fact that we're having this discussion again about turf in the fucking NFL is a joke.
Yep.
He said it felt like cement.
Right. You're right. I did.
But if you watched him, every time he went to get up, he couldn't even like bend his knees. He was like using his arms to stand up. He was so sore and beat up.
Ugh.
It was brutal. And should we change his name to Jimmy Crunch Time? I mean, he won that game twice. First of all,
no question on that. The one that
maybe 3 times, because we put this game in the hands of our defense with 2.5 minutes to go.
Yeah,
up 7 points.
Right, and they
you got to feel good about that, unless you're playing Aaron Rodgers and there's 35 seconds left. But playing against a rookie quarterback and a middle of the road team,
year, yeah.
You know, like he didn't play a bunch because of that.
Yeah.
So a second-year quarterback on a middle of the road team, they had to go 87 yards to get their touchdown.
Yeah, and they did it quickly, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
and then he drives the field again, gets us into field goal range, and well into field goal range. It was a 47. It wasn't like a big crazy field goal.
No, it wasn't out. Yeah, it wasn't a fucking Ravens field goal.
Yep. Then to lose the coin toss.
Yeah, Fred.
The defense gives up another field goal.
Yeah.
And then to drive the field with the touchdown to win. I mean, you can't ask for much more.
No.
Now, to be fair, he threw a game-ending pick that the fucking defense dropped.
Yes.
He threw it in the guy's chest.
Yes.
Game over.
That was
game over.
Overtime?
No, that was the end of the fourth, driving for the field goal.
Okay.
Game over.
Right.
Game fucking over. That guy catches that ball.
Because he could have taken that to the house.
Doesn't even have to.
Yeah.
Doesn't even have to. They run the clock out. It's over.
Well, no, it would have went to overtime. Because we missed the field goal anyway.
Oh, maybe it was that play. Maybe it must have been the one before then. It must have been, I don't know. I know that it was game over if he caught it.
Yeah.
Not pretty.
Well, no.
You know? Especially if he takes to the house.
Yeah.
Or just gets into field goal range, gives them a chance. And maybe it was overtime. Maybe it was before George was catching overtime. I think it was. I think it was before the...
Can I tell you what my
pass to
favorite Jimmy George passing catch was?
Sure.
From this? Was like when George was sliding, it was the catch to give them the first down before Ayuk's touchdown. Mm-hmm. And George slid, and Jimmy had just put absolute perfect placement on it.
Yeah, they had their whole defense on Jimmy.
Right, yeah.
On George.
Yeah. And it was
they basically rushed covered everybody else, and everyone left was covering George.
And George kind of slid into a pocket, and Jimmy just hit him perfectly for the first down. It was hardcore.
It was exactly like our game against Green Bay when they just kept throwing it to Devontae Adams, even though we knew it was going to him. It was the same thing we did with George.
And they even said it after the game. Yeah. We couldn't do shit. Yeah. What did he end up with? What were his numbers? But I do have to say, even my wife says, why don't the other team's players run like George and Debo? I go, because they can't, she just thinks it's a matter of will. I'm like, well, it is on some level, but it's also,
They're just more diesel.
Yeah.
Like a wide receiver can't normally run across the middle like the two of them do and take that contact.
I know.
He ended with 13 receptions for 151.
I mean, let's not forget the Debo touchdown.
Yeah.
Are we forget? That's not even up there. You know what I mean?
Yeah, he's not in the running for
right. No, I know, but let's not forget that touchdown. That 27 yards out. Debo, anytime he touches the ball, he's got a chance to take it to the fucking house. On the other side of the field, the defense, Bosa was, as you said, just causing absolute fucking chaos.
Total menace.
Yeah, he is. I would love to see him fight in a Roman battle, type of shit, like killing people, with an axe. I'd like to see that.
Did you hear his post game when he talked about when he got the sack?
And the refreshment.
Because he was roommates with Joe Burrow.
Right.
They're
boys. Yeah.
And his teammates came over to help him up, and he's like, no, I got
this. It. Yeah. He's so shot.
Yeah.
He's so fucking shot.
The big talk this week has been, it's old news, but I don't know why it became news this week. But the big talk this week is about how he can decide which side he's playing on, which side he's rushing from.
Okay.
It's old news. It's been going on most of the season, if not all the season.
Right.
D'Amico Ryans basically said Nick goes where he wants to go, and whoever's on the other side plays the other side. When D Ford was there, D Ford primarily rushed from the left side, so Nick would stay on the right side.
To give him that respect.
Now that D's out, well, I think it was just maybe he's more effective from that side, and Nick doesn't care. But Nick said he likes to mix it up because he likes to stay balanced and like work his right side and his left side equally. But he has the right to pick, so it adds a level to his chess match. You know, he's setting guys up. Those defensive linemen spend the whole game setting those offensive linemen up for the end of the game. That's why his sacks seem to come late.
Right,
He's doing stuff to set a pattern, and then he breaks the pattern and gets the sack.
Yep.
And when he needs it the most in the fourth quarter or overtime.
Yeah, I mean, don't get him wrong. If he beats him early,
If, he's going to overpower here and there
or something. Yeah.
But like in that last drive, he got to pick who he was going against, and he picked the guy that he actually played college ball with, who was a backup and was in for an injured player.
Right. He said he went against him a bunch. Right.
It was a nice way of saying he knew he could smoke him.
Right. Yeah.
You know, I know this guy and I can smoke him, basically.
That's fucking great.
But Nick Bosa's too nice to say that.
Yeah.
It was pretty wild. It felt like playoff football. It felt like the stress level of a playoff game.
Oh, no question.
And the irony is we probably could lose 1 or 2 games and still make the playoffs at this point because the way everybody else is playing.
Yeah.
But it just feels like a playoff
Yeah,
game.
I think so. We have 4 games left.
Yes.
I think the Niners. I know they can go 2-2 and probably get in, but I think they should go 3-1 to comfortably get in. You know.
Yeah, I mean the only who's left on the list that's scary, Tennessee and the Rams.
Yep. And then
it's
Atlanta,
we shouldn't say that because the last time we said that, Atlanta came in and fucking stomped their shit at home.
Yeah, so we got
after traveling back.
Atlanta and the Texans, and then well, but that's not the order. But yeah,
it's Atlanta, Houston, or Atlanta, Tennessee.
So one thing I want to make mention this week, we do a little T-shirt contest, Bob. You ready? You like how I'm springing this on you?
Okay.
Well, it doesn't involve you at all. What we're going to do is Friday, I'm going to post a picture of a current 49er player. It'll either be Devo or George or Ayuk. And then you have from Friday until after the game. Well, no, from Friday until game time, until kickoff, to comment on the post and guess how many receiving yards this human being will get. Person's closest wins a T-shirt. Good.
Price is Right rules or just closest?
I think closest. Yeah. I don't want to get taxed. People don't. Some of our shot loads don't understand.
You're going to charge them for shipping? Or you're going to ship it on?
I'm going to ship it.
Oh, all right.
Yeah, and then they could pick the shirt if they want the puppy cunt or the or the other one. Yeah, I guess I'll take the post down.
Look at you. We'll take that out of your side of the profit from these shirts.
Yeah. There is clearly no profit. I am in the hole. Yeah. Buy shirts, cunts, please. I don't want to be stuck with fucking 40 shirts that say cunt. All right. It is that time. I feel it on the inside. The beast of the week. The beast of the week. Give it to me, Bob. There's no question. GK, all the way.
And again, I said it last week. I'll say it again. Don't come at me with your Travis Kelce being anywhere near as good as George Kittle bullshit.
No.
Take a fucking walk.
Nope.
Travis Kelce isn't as good of a wide receiver as George Kittle, let alone the blocking that George Kittle does. Yeah. Let alone the tone that George Kittle sets for the team. Let alone the positivity he brings to the team and the light side of football that he brings to the entire team when he's there. Just his presence.
He is an absolute...
he's the face of our franchise.
He is a Hall of Fame, just human.
Debo might be the best wide receiver in football this year because of his versatility and everything he can do.
Yeah.
And still George is our best offensive weapon.
Yeah.
That's insane. That's completely insane.
Here's a thought. Imagine Trey Lance is like the next Russell Wilson type. Could you imagine that type of shit?
Dynasty.
Yeah, it could be.
What? Yeah. Well, he's gonna have a problem starting next year when Jimmy takes us to the promised land this year.
I don't. Yeah, whoever.
Then what?
Don't give a fuck. No.
Then what? You trade Lance?
You know whose problem it's not? It's mine. Defensive side of the ball, Bobo.
That's a pretty easy one.
Yeah, you going with the man?
Yeah, Nicky B, Small Bear.
Bosa. All right, well, I agree, but I'm going to give it to Aziz. He fucking left it out there, man. 11 tackles,
What
one
happens?
sack.
Remember when we thought it was going to be a drop to have him take over for Dre Greenlaw?
Not at all. He's playing pro
Better
bowl
than Dre.
football.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
There's-
He's day-to-day, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
he should play. There's got to be. I would say a corner nickelback doesn't really have a Pro Bowl spot. Mm-hmm. Otherwise, K1 Williams has that on lock.
Right.
I would say when you're talking Pro Bowl, George is in 100%.
Yeah.
Debo's in 100%.
Yeah.
Trent Williams is a lock.
Yep.
That's 3. I would say Nick Bosa's a lock.
Maybe Alex Mack. I don't know.
I don't know.
The offensive line's been so good.
Yeah.
Think about that.
But Bosa's a lock, right?
Yeah.
At least one of these middle linebackers has to be a lock.
I mean, Freddie.
That puts us at 5.
Right.
Without even going into Ayuk possibility. I
Let
doubt
me
we're
ask
going
you a
to have
question
2 wide
here.
receivers.
Do you
but-
think any of these guys are at all-pro level? You know,
Yeah,
it's
Debo's
different.
all-pro.
You think Debo?
Yeah. Who's a better wide receiver?
I don't know. Does somebody have like a bunch more?
No.
Cooper Kupp. That's who they're going to give it to.
Yeah, that's 1. Don't they get 2?
I don't know.
Since there's 2 wide receivers per team?
Yeah, maybe.
I don't know. Fuck Cooper Kupp.
I agree.
Fuck him.
Fuck him.
Right in his fuck
Fuck
hole.
him in his mouth.
You give me a choice between the 2 of them tomorrow, it's an easy fucking
No.
decision. I'll go one step further. You give Sean McVay a choice tomorrow, it's easy.
You give Cooper Kupp a decision
Yeah,
tomorrow.
right?
to
Fuck
fucking
out
do.
of here.
All right, what, you want to do the particulars? What's
Sure.
the clock read?
Get fucking particular, man.
Yeah, well, fuck it. All right, here's the particulars, you cucks. There's an Instagram. That's where the t-shirt contest will go down. Gold Butted Podcast, one word. Leave us a review. However you listen, whatever the app that you go to listen to this bullshit, go there and leave a review. 1 star, 5 star, 10 star, whatever the most. We prefer it. Email us. That's our preferred method of interaction. You could leave us voicemails. You could leave word mails. You could draw pictures. We don't get enough pictures. I don't want pictures of other shit unless it's of you and your spouse. But like drawn pictures. We'd like that. goldbloodedpodcast@gmail.com. If you're
Can we back up for a second?
See?
Did you ask for word mails?
Is that what I said?
Yeah. You asked for word mails. Just curious.
I mean, that's fine.
You said voicemails and word mails.
Yeah. However, whatever their preferred method. I mean, you don't know Morse code, do you?
No.
Well,
I could learn it.
yeah, sure you could, but do you want to?
You know, I'm like 1 day away from learning how to solve a Rubik's Cube.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
That's cool. I see it out here. I meant
Yeah, I
to
got it.
ask.
I'm
I figured
almost
your
there.
kids were fucking around with it, but...
I'm about 5 days in, and I'm about 1 day away from having it
Now,
done.
let me ask you. Are you watching videos to learn?
I watched one to get started and get rolling.
Just one?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I've watched it a couple times because I need to learn.
Okay.
But it's just memorization.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right, because you just catch a pattern and roll
There's
with it,
different
kinda.
patterns, but
yeah. I've given very little... I've given no effort, but I've given some to like understanding it. You know what I mean? And
You know what the record is?
really quick, right?
4.2 seconds.
Yeah.
That's absurd.
People do them blind.
I'm down under 3 minutes.
Oh. But I thought. So wait, why do you say you're almost there though?
I still got a cheat. I have a cheat sheet I use a little bit. 'Cause I'm not fully memorized yet.
Gotcha. So it's a memorization thing.
Yeah, 100%. I got one little piece left, and then I'm done.
That sucks.
Okay.
I mean, I don't know.
You wouldn't know it was memorization if I didn't tell you.
I knew it was.
Yeah, but like if you watch somebody do it, you wouldn't know it was
Well, it's like
all
the
in my
same
head.
motion, right? No.
It's many different motions, but
Okay. Yeah, I misunderstood something I just recently saw.
it is,
about
but
it. Yeah.
but it's not.
Well, that's interesting. I don't. Yeah.
I'm sure this is very intriguing for the listeners, probably.
I mean, you have your Rubik's Cube. I have golf.
Yeah.
Would you get a Rubik's Cube coach?
No, I don't need one.
Clearly.
I got a question for the audience. I almost said fans.
The
For the audience, I had a thought this week about how we really don't talk in depth about the game. Like we just talk about things we remember, and there's so much more that happens that we don't remember. Do the fans miss Steve giving his drive-by-drive breakdown? Do they miss that detailed, kind of play-by-play that Steve used to give us? Let us know, because if you do, maybe we'll find a third mic that'll watch the game back and do that. Or maybe that'll be Kern's way back on the show.
I was going to say, I know one person that doesn't miss it, but yeah, no problem.
I don't know, just a thought.
Yeah.
I know there's times I leave here and I'm like, shit, I forgot about this play or that play. Or
I started taking notes. My first note was the Mitch Wisnowski, in on the tackle thing.
Yeah, the one that turned out to not be true.
Dude, I saw. See if we had Steve.
Were those from last week?
No. So listen, but then I got so stressed watching the game that I was like, "Fuck these notes."
No, you got to watch it back to make notes like that because it's too much real time.
I'm not watching it back.
I don't know. If you guys care about that, let us know, and maybe we'll, I don't know, find our next third mic, since Kern apparently has abandoned us. Is he even alive?
Yeah, I think. I text him about something. I don't know what, but he responded.
R.I.P.
Yeah, well, I think we're going to hear from him next episode. Check out our sponsor, the people that keep the lights on here, LuckyRoseTattoo.BigCartel.com, motherfuckers. If you'd like a t-shirt before I burn them all, goldbloodedpodcast.bigcartel.com. Get them while they're hot or before they get hot. And if you are...
Or win a free one.
Yeah, or win a free one. Yeah, I don't give a fuck. If you guess the exact yardage of whoever I choose, I'll give you one of each. Fuck it. If you're super rich, Patreon, www.patreon.com.
Or if you're not, just if you want to
Gold-Blooded Podcast.
give us your money anyways, even if you're broke.
Yeah, I mean, don't take food out of your kid's mouth, but if you have money, we'd appreciate it.
Fuck them. My kids need food too.
Yeah, I hear you.
Word mail. Don't forget word mail.
So you want to know what's the time here?
We got time.
Okay.
I'm guessing no one's going to hear it because they'll probably stop listening, but that's okay.
So this is fucked up.
Yeah.
Here's what I'm getting Jessica for Christmas. And the guys I work with was like, I can't believe you're going to actually do this. Like, this is a...
I love that you're telling this on a podcast 2 weeks before Christmas.
Right. Well, exactly. She's not listening. Nobody I know that talks to her. Whatever.
Jessica, if you're listening, turn it off so the surprise isn't ruined.
Whatever.
I tried to save it.
I'm getting her...
Oh, God.
A countertop dishwasher. Somebody's like, dude, you're getting your wife a dishwasher for Christmas? They're like, that's like telling her to go like...
Yeah, why don't you get her tires?
Yeah. I know, but...
Why don't you get her a laundry basket and tell her to do your laundry?
She's been asking for a dishwasher for like... since 2014.
Has she ever had one?
No.
Huh.
So...
we've never used one. Every house I've had has had it. We never use it.
I think she's going to use it primarily for the utensils because
countertop might be better because I don't know what the scenario is, but I know for our dishwasher, like I'm not running the dishwasher for, especially you. You have no kids; it's 2 of you.
Right.
Like, it's never going to be full. It's never going to be.
So well, if she does it every 2 nights, you know what I mean, then it's cool. Then she doesn't have to do the utensils or whatever. She only does the big pots and pans or whatever. She's going to love this. Trust me. I know my wife.
After you give it to her. Mm-hmm. Maybe the day after Christmas. Can you do a quick interview with her about whether she likes it or not?
Yeah, 100%.
Oh, she can't be honest in that scenario. Shit. All right, we got to come up with something.
Yeah, we'll have to bamboozle. But with that said, I never knew this thing existed. They're so dope looking. And
is it like what they use at like a restaurant?
No, not quite.
Because that's kind of countertop, you know.
But it's made. You fill it up with water, typically between 4 and 7 liters, depending on the model, which isn't a ton of water. And then it's got a hose that you just put in the sink as a drain, and it does the damn thing.
How about that?
All the reviews say it works just as good as a full size. So,
well, how about that?
3.5.
How about that?
$350. So, with that said, that's about all. You got anything else here?
No, I'm glad you told her gift and then how much it costs. That's good. Good thinking.
Does your wife listen to this podcast 40 minutes in?
I don't know.
I know my wife does.
Okay.
I know my baby. I know baby.
Guess we're going to find out.
Please. With that said, please, I'm going to spill the beans before then. I'm going to be like, hey, what color would you like your countertop microwave or whatever? All right. With that said, the Bengals were a nice enough team. I'm glad we got the victory.
Fuck them.
Yeah, fuck them now. Joe Burrow, nice guy, but fuck him.
Fuck them. ATL, you're next.
Yeah, Atlanta, we're going to talk about you in a couple minutes. I know nothing about you. Bye-bye.